what annoys me the most is when they have a paragraph of like, oh, I'm so happy for you, or I've seen your success, and I just about XYZ. And then, can you shout out my brand, or do you want to like work with my thing? If you just did that first, you know what I mean? Like, just be honest with this reach out, and then say you're happy for me, that'd be great. But then when you do that, it's because you're trying to like pressure
an agenda.
me. Oh, that pisses me off so much. It irks me. I'm just like,
because they don't really care about your success. They just want to like,
just want a piece.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, what?
That's such a very. Dude, I'm clipping that. That was hilarious. Your facial expression, like, what? That was such a genuine facial expression right there, brother. Oh my god.
Just same. Just saying show.
That sounds like the Black Eyed Peas song. What was I gonna say? Gotta boom, boom, boom. Gotta make that boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna jack my style. Oh, no,
boom,
no,
boom,
no.
pow. You got me jacking my style. Dan. I'm on that.
Next shit now.
I'm so 2008. You're so 2000 and late.
I'm gonna get that boom, boom, boom.
Let me get that.
Boom, boom, boom.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Just Saying Show. I'm your host, Read Choi. This is my co-host,
Austin, and let's get to it.
Okay. So we got a lot of things. I got a lot of things prepared for y'all, but before we start, most of you guys probably already know. If you guys haven't, I did a podcast recently with the lovely Lila Rose, and I just kind of there was just one reflection I had after watching that episode. Did you watch it?
I watched it, yeah.
Oh, what'd you think?
Well, it was good, but it was basically everything that I covered with you on that very first podcast, but you didn't want to upload it, so I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. So the biggest thing that I took away is because I opened up about like my childhood and the things that I went through for the first time online, especially on such a big platform, right? And there was a time and point in my life where my childhood and the things that I went through kind of defined who I was. Like, I remember it was like a really common discussion that I had in my late teens, and like whenever I went to church, that was like a lot of things that I would talk about with my counselors and my small group leaders and all that type of stuff. And when I was watching the podcast episode, I realized that I hadn't talked about my childhood in so long, and that it no longer defines who I am. Like that trauma, the crap that I went through, that it no longer defines me, and there's so much more to me. And it was kind of like a bittersweet recognition of the fact that I grew. Mm-hmm. Because when I was a kid, or when I was like going through all that trauma, all that weight that I had on me was on such the forefront of my mind, because I was dealing with it live, just figuring out how am I going to heal and move on. And the fact that years later that I never thought that years later that weight would just be completely gone. I always thought that I would always have that chip on my shoulder no matter what. And the fact that it's not part of that conversation anymore or regularly. I don't remember the last time I talked about my trauma as if it was something that I needed to heal from. Mm-hmm. And that was a really sweet moment for me.
When you say it no longer defines who I am, doesn't it still kind of define who you are, because it built you to the man you are today with all the character development?
Okay, so the way that I'm trying to go about it is like, I'm sure there's ways in which I grew from that trauma that still pertain to who I am today. Like, I'm still very resilient. I think I'm pretty tough and all that. But one of the comments from the videos was talking about like how they could see that I truly moved on because I was able to talk about it in a way where I could laugh at myself, and you could tell that I truly forgave the people that did those things to me. Like when I talk about that trauma, I can talk about it today where it's very matter of the fact, and there's no hurt in my voice. I can just say, hey, this is what happened to me. It sucked, but I healed, and it has no power over me. Like I can talk about it and it won't affect my mood,
But back then it would affect your mood.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like I would get angry, like
Rightfully so.
I was talking about like why in the video I was talking about like how forgiveness isn't for the other person, it's for you, because there are times where I could be having a great time and then you even mention my father and I'm not having a great time anymore and I go in a dark place, where now that doesn't happen at all. And I didn't realize that I had grown from that until I watched the video and looked at the comments. And it was a very nice moment for me where I was like, oh, okay, like this doesn't define you anymore. You're not that broken kid. You've healed. And that was very nice.
I went through all the comments too. There was nothing but good feedback. People like, if I was in your shoes and I was reading those comments, it would feel like, wow, for once I actually feel, understood. People are actually on my side, because over the years, especially in the beginning, it felt like everyone was like against you, right?
Yeah. And the really cool one, and I shared it on my story, were like people that were against me because they didn't have the full story. After watching the podcast, they're like, oh, I messed up, like I was listening, I was hating this person because another content creator told me to, not because I was actually approaching it logically and listening to all the facts.
That's one thing that's just super dangerous about this generation in social media too. People will just blindly believe other content creators that they follow and be like, oh, she or he said this, it must be true, without any backing evidence or hearing from the other side. But I mean, I totally get it at the same time, because you didn't really come out with like your side of the story when all that happened, right? And this was just with the second time that you got canceled, not the first time, Yeah.
Anyways. Actually, even with the first stuff, because a lot of people, there were a lot of comments with that too. So it was very nice either way. But that was just my reflections from the Lila Rose interview. So if you guys haven't watched it and are interested in watching it, just look up Lila Rose Read Choi on YouTube, and it'll be the first video that pops up. And let them know I sent you and tell me what you think. But don't do it right now, because you got to watch the rest of the podcast. Okay, so I wanted to start off with just some lighthearted humor. There's a bunch of podcasts that will just like where it's like a duo and they read off like funny comments on Reddit or savage tweets.
Okay.
And I just wanted to do that because I just want to laugh. Okay. So this is from the Ask Men subreddit, and the topic is, what's the most savage insult you've ever heard? For me, there was a woman who had breast augmentation done, and let's just say the plastic surgeon wasn't top of their field. A guy said to her, oh, those look natural. Did you put those in yourself?
What the What? Wait, let me see this. Let me see this. I gotta see
It's
this.
at the top.
Whoever told you
Read another one.
Whoever told you to be yourself gave you bad advice. That's terrible advice. Most people don't like me, actually. I will fuck your father and give him the son he deserves. What the heck? I'll be bleeping these all out, but oh my god, dude.
I love these.
Wait, which subreddit is this?
Ask Men.
Ask Men. Okay.
So it's just like dudes answering questions. My aunt and uncle lost a child decades ago. He fell off a balcony and didn't make it when he was 3. My uncle was watching him at the time but was distracted by cricket. While arguing with one of my cousins about money, arguably one of my most passive and unassuming cousins stood up and said, I'd never give you money. You are so stingy you wouldn't even pay attention to your son.
That's actually just pretty like...
Oh my gosh.
That's not even funny. That's like a burn right there, bro. Oh, that's like a stab to the heart.
Dude, that is savage. Holy crap. My friend told me that my singing made her cancer worse.
That's just fucked up. Damn, dude. These people are ruthless in the comments.
Okay. A 6-year-old asked me if I've ever kissed a woman. I said yes, to which he replied, yeah, probably your mom.
Okay, that one I saw coming. I was like, okay, it's going to be mom related.
Kids are so savage. There's like this saying, like if a man says you're ugly, he's just a butthole. If a girl says you're ugly, she's just jealous. But if a child says you're ugly, you are really freaking ugly. Yeah.
That's true. What do you think about grandparents, like elderly folks too? Like when they see a guy and they're like, oh, like this guy's handsome, or like, oh, this guy's ugly. Do you think that's like part of the?
I've never heard an older person call someone ugly. They're always like, oh, you're so handsome.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
That's true.
So if they call you ugly, you must be really ugly. Like really freaking ugly.
Well, that's good to know, especially if you go up to a kid and the kid's just like giving you like, what if, okay, would you be hurt if you came up to like a child and you're like, oh, how you doing? And then the kid just like starts crying just immediately like that. Would you be offended by that?
No, I'm used to that.
Kids do that? They cry right in front of you when they first meet you? Because I get kids
kind of
shy.
scary. I'm kind of scary.
Bro, I look scarier than you. Are you kidding me right now?
You do not.
I definitely look scarier than you.
No, you do not.
Guys, okay, I want you guys to determine who looks scarier. Do I look scarier or does Reed look scarier?
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I look more intimidating, bro.
Really?
Dude, okay, if you and me side by side, I definitely look more like an F-boy, okay?
F-boys aren't intimidating.
Well, not for us, but I mean for other people, right?
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm willing. You want to make a bet?
Let's make a bet.
All right. What do you want to bet?
No, all the things I'm thinking about is inappropriate. I don't think you should trust me on what I would do, because what's going through my head is like totally not inappropriate.
I already know I'm gonna win, so I don't really care.
What? There's no way, dude. There's no freaking way, because most of the people on the internet, they already know you as a comedic guy and whatnot. They're like, oh, this guy's a man of God, so automatically,
Still.
it's all cap, folks. It's all cap.
Oh, there's a girl one right here. My daughter was being tormented by a bully in elementary school for months. No one at the school would do a thing because the other kid had lost their father the previous year. She came home daily in tears. I kept telling her to stand up for herself, but she was painfully shy. Then, one day, she stood up for herself in an epic way. I got a call from the school that she shut the other kid up by saying,
Oh, God, what is it?
I can see why your dad killed himself since he had a kid like you.
Dude, that's bad. This is like borderline like bullying, dude.
Dude, that's savage.
Dude, what the heck?
That is savage.
The creativity in that too is like immaculate, but still like, what the heck, bro?
What's like the most savage thing you've ever said to another person?
I mean, I don't really say anything. You know me, bro. I don't really say mean things towards other people.
That's true.
I kind of just like lift them up like, dude, you're so sexy, man. Like, God, why can't I be like you? You know, like,
Yeah.
I like to bring up people up. I don't like to talk down on
Austin's a
people.
good person. A friend of mine dropped out of high school and is overweight, so we call him Notorious GED.
Okay, that's funny. That was funny. Notorious GED. They have no filters though. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But you don't really have a filter either, so I'm surprised that you don't have a savage story. Oh, I have a savage story. I don't know if we can share it, but like I remember.
With me?
Yeah.
What is it?
When you straight up called a mutual friend of ours exes a torta.
When did I say that?
Right in front of her face at church.
Girl? An ex-girlfriend?
Yeah.
I called her a torta?
Right in front of me. I was like, oh my gosh, shut the up.
There's no way.
Yeah. Since I made him look bad, I can tell one savage story of mine. So, when I was in uni, I was very hyper ultra competitive. Like I just
Wait, when you were in what?
In university.
Oh, okay.
And I remember one time in just one of my classes, I got like 100%, I think on an essay or some test. And then this person behind me got like a 97%. I actually made a video about this. Anyways, so she was asking me, hey, what did you get? I was like, I got 100%. And then she was like, oh, I got a 97%, same difference. And I was like, no, no. You got a 97% because that's all you could get. I got 100% because that's all there was to get.
Damn, dude.
I wasn't very popular.
This was back in Berkeley or community college? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Now let's move on to a revenge story. This one here is the most popular revenge story on Reddit of all time. From very cute Aja Badishut. I don't know.
That's an interesting name.
Yeah, from Revenge Stories. This was posted 38 days ago, and it has become the most popular revenge story in all of Reddit. Title: My neighbor blocked my driveway one too many times, so I had his car towed during his Tinder date. For context, my neighbor is the type of guy who thinks rules are for other people. An arrogant 6-foot-something hunk in his mid-20s. No, my car never got towed. Okay. He constantly parks in front of my driveway, fully blocking it, despite multiple warning notes and in-person, hey man, seriously stop conversations. His excuse? I'm just here for a bit. A bit apparently means an eternity, 3 to 5 hours every time. Last week, I come home and surprise, he's there again, blocking my driveway with his crusty silver sedan. I see him through his window getting ready, cologne and everything. He's going out. I decide tonight's the night. So I do what I should have done weeks ago. I call a tow truck. No warnings or notes. Got it towed straight up. About 45 minutes later, I'm sitting on my porch drinking a beer when a random girl walks up the sidewalk. Clearly dressed for a date. She knocks on his door. He comes out smiling, then sees his car is gone. She's confused. He's flipping out. He starts looking around like somebody robbed him. I casually say, if you're looking for your car, it got towed. You were blocking my driveway. Again. He tries to argue, but the girl just says, wait, you parked in front of his driveway? He tries to explain, but she just says, wow, that's trash, and walks off. I haven't seen him block my driveway since, and he never called another girl home after that. His confidence took a major hit.
Wow.
Well, he blocked you. You blocked him. That's fair.
Oh no, that's fair game, especially multiple warnings too. Like at one point, it's like, all right, I'm just gonna tow your car.
Yeah, that's not even.
So
that
that's
bad.
a good revenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten revenge?
It's more just like same thing with you. Success. Success is the best revenge. You know, there's no point in trying to make someone feel bad.
I'm trying to think if I ever have gotten revenge. They say revenge is sweet.
It is kind of in a way. That's like not direct, you know, but indirect. Like for instance, like the only revenge story that I personally have gone through is the fact that like back in high school, nobody believed that, oh, you're not gonna make it as a DJ. You're not gonna, you know, play at all these big festivals. 12 years goes by. I'm playing with Insomniac, getting record label deals, and now all these people that never talked to me since high school. Yo, bro, like I'm so proud of you. Like I knew you could make it. I knew you were doing it. In my head, I'm like,
oh,
dude,
really?
You were the one that was like praying for my downfall, you know? And then he was like, yo, can you get me on a guest list for the show? Because the person that I was performing with, he really liked that artist. So it's like, and I doubt he was even trying to go for my performance. He was trying to go for like the main act, right? And it's like, yo, can you get me on GL? Like, and after that, I just left him on red, unfollowed him. It's like, because I forgot I was even following him in the first place, you know? I was like, unfollowed him, like, bliss.
Yeah, I had a friend that we were actually kind of close, right? And he was actually, I don't know how much information I want to put out. Okay, so I had a friend, and we were actually pretty close. And he was creatively inclined as well, but never really made much of it. And the last time we talked or hung out in person was probably when late teen, or maybe when I was like 20, right? And all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but, you know, I get my notoriety, you know, and then he randomly reaches out to me out of the blue. And like, what annoys me the most is when they have a paragraph of like, oh, I'm so happy for you, or I've seen your success, and I just add about XYZ. And then, can you shout out my brand, or do you want to like work with my thing? if
right,
you
right
just,
after, right
if you just
afterwards.
did that first, you know what I mean? Like, just be honest with this reach out and then say you're happy for me. That'd be great. But then when you do that, it's because you're trying to like
A hidden
pressure me.
agenda.
Oh, that pisses me off so much. Not, it's just it irks me. I'm just like,
Because you know they don't really care about your success. They just want to like, you know,
just want a piece.
exactly.
And I'm just like, what?
That's such a very. Yo, I'm clipping that. That was hilarious. Your facial expression, like, what? That was such a genuine facial expression right there, brother. Oh my god. But I mean, I feel like that's like the best form of revenge, right? Like it's like you're not like trying to like forcibly like trying to ruin someone's life or trying to like actually make them feel bad.
No.
You know?
I live by like, if I don't like you, you know, I want you to eat, just not at my table.
Right.
You know, I don't want you to. Hate never comes down; it always comes up. It's always people looking up at you. People that are beneath
Jealous,
you,
bitter.
you don't have time to look down because you're working on your own things. You know.
You're looking forward, not in the past.
Yeah. And it's not like I'm like this crazy success story either. I'm still trying to get my peace. I'm just very blessed to be where I am, and I'm very thankful for what I have, because I certainly don't think I deserve it. It's definitely a gift from God.
Brother, you keep saying this every single time, man. You put in, I mean, yeah, it is a gift from God, but you did work your ass off for that, dude. You went through hell and back. You were in the trenches, my guy.
Yeah, but he was with me every step of the way.
Amen.
Okay. All right. Now this is a breakup story. So,
Oh.
and the girl.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning.
The girl gets the revenge. So, ladies, you'll like those. Title: You want us to break up? Fine. My mother-in-law is truly awful. She constantly makes remarks about me not deserving my fiance. We are a sort of modern couple, with him bringing in 70% of the money and doing about 30% of the household chores, and me vice versa. So the husband brings in 70% of the money and does 30% of the chores, and she brings in 30% of the money and does 70% of the chores. It's not an exact math, of course, but we are content with the workload and bill division. My mother-in-law thinks that I should do all the chores and calls my job a small part-time gig that I should be happy to do to help out without neglecting my duties. Fiance disagrees, but going low contact is difficult when his father is and his sister-in-law. Oh, okay. Fiance disagrees, but going low contact is difficult when his father and his sister-in-law, brother's wife, and I have gotten close. So my fiance, his brother and sister-in-law, and I scheme to have me break up with him in front of his mom and just leave a wake of disastrous consequences to show her. Oh, so they're kind of staging something.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
like a set. It's like, yeah.
All right. When she next made a remark at New Year's about it being time for him to find a traditional wife, I said she was right and broke it off. She was shocked immediately and tried to walk it back. My fiance had a meltdown begging me to stay, while my brother-in-law and his wife instigated by asking my mother-in-law if she was racist. They didn't tell me about this part, but it was funny because she doesn't seem to be racist in any real way. She started to panic as I stormed out, and my fiance moved back home and has been bugging her to do all the things I do on daily, cooking and helping him with his New York Times puzzles and steaming his clothes, and claiming she owes him for making me leave. So this woman has been calling me nonstop, begging to talk, and after just 8 days, she showed up at my work to full-on apologize, complete with a confession that blew me away. She legit admitted to thinking that I loved him enough to let her say whatever without consequence, and assumed that bugging me would get me to do more for her son so he could have more time for her and time to relax. He currently works long hours, as owning a home is a goal for us, and though I also work doubles, she thinks that customer service isn't as hard as IT, even though working with the public is super exhausting. She cried and begged me to take him back and said he was lazy. Oh, threw her son on the bus. When I reluctantly agreed, she promised to leave me alone, and the next day sent me a gift basket with See's candy in it. My fiance admitted he started to be extra needy to her on purpose after the second day because he missed me and wanted to drive her crazy enough to get her to apologize quick. Boom!
Wow.
But what I do find a common theme within relationships is that a lot of these guys tend to be mama's boys and don't stand up for their wife enough.
You think that's an issue with today's generation of men?
Oh, it's always been an issue.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what, like the stereotype is that the wife always hates the mother-in-law, or the mother-in-law always hates the wife.
Because she isn't good enough for her son.
Yeah. The mama's boy.
Right. Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why with me, the ladies won't have that problem. You know, because my parents don't really get a say. But they've known that.
But what about your aunt?
Oh, they're gonna have to earn my aunt's.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But with her, I keep her in line as well. Like I can't tell you how many times I just, yeah. I've always, even when I was living with my parents, they had no say about who I was dating, and they just kind of gave up. Like they knew that, and even if they didn't like them, you know, I was like, they would never have the balls to say something against her in front of me. Because I was like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? I've always been very strong-headed that way.
I mean, kind of makes sense. I mean, both your parents were never really involved in your life anyways.
Yeah. My aunt as well. You know, we have a very mutually respectful relationship. Yeah. And she loves me to death, and I love her to death. But I think she also respects me as an adult. It's not like she looks down at me in any other way, you know?
I don't think she would ever look down on you in any other way. And I see her as like your motherly figure now these days, you know?
Yeah.
She is your mom, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you want it to be?
Me personally, I'm more of a traditional guy. I'd rather, you know, protect, provide. I'd rather make the bread in the house and give my wife an option to stay at home and take care of the kids. She doesn't have to. If she doesn't want to be a stay-at-home mom, that's fine. If she wants to, like, has any other ambitious goals of hers, I'm totally okay with it. You know, I'll support that. But I do want to give her the option to stay at home and take care of our kid and raise our kid. So
if she wanted to be a career wife,
mm-hmm.
and so brought in an equal amount of money to you. So let's say the finances are now split 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Are you okay with doing 50% of the chores and she does 50% of the chores?
If it was in that scenario, then yes.
Okay.
I think it's very
But what's your ideal?
Ideal stay-at-home mom. I'm obviously, like, I want her to have hobbies too, you know, just not like depend her happiness on me and the kid. Like, I want her to have other like goals and hobbies that she enjoys doing.
Like what?
Most girls love traveling. They love to go to the gym. Well, I don't know. Most girls love to go travel, but some girls like to go to the gym. They like to go on hikes.
So are you okay with she goes on trips without you?
Yeah.
Girls trips?
Yeah. Because if it's my wife, then
To
I trust her
Miami?
100%.
To Miami?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if she's my wife, then yes. But if it was my girlfriend, it's a little sticky right there. A little sticky. Because if it's my wife, it's like, okay, I trust her 100%. You know?
What if it was a girls and boys trip, but she just doesn't want you to go?
Like if I was going to go on a boys and girls trip and she doesn't want me to
She
go?
wants to travel.
Okay.
Just not with you, but there will be boys traveling with her.
Are they single or are they married?
Single.
Then no. What the fuck?
I thought you trust her.
I mean, in that scenario, you're putting in like the most like reddest of all red flags into
You don't
the
trust her to
equation.
be alone with a single guy?
I don't trust. It's her I trust. I don't trust who she's with.
Why does that matter?
Because they can alter their perception. I mean, here's the thing. It's like if you take your girl, let's say you trust your girl 100%, right?
Yeah.
And she goes to a club with her girlfriends.
Yeah.
Are you gonna expect like you might trust her 100%, and you're like, okay, I don't think she's gonna like, you know, betray me or anything, but you don't know what kind of guys are over there, under what influence she is in. Is she drunk? Is she on any other drugs? Because that can automatically decipher like.
You don't trust her to just be sober?
I don't really care if she drinks. I mean, like, I'm not gonna tell her like, no, you can't drink. No, like, no, have a good time. You know.
Okay.
You know, have a good
So
time.
you don't trust her when she's drunk?
Like I said, I don't trust the people that could potentially influence her decision-making skills. Because even when I'm intoxicated and drunk, I'm like all over the place, right? But I know what's good and what's wrong. Like if someone.
But she doesn't, because she's a woman?
Wait, what?
Well, what's the difference? because you said when you're drunk,
Uh-huh.
you know, even though you're drunk, you know the difference.
Yeah, so
between what's
it's
right
like
and
if
wrong.
I put him,
But you don't trust her to know the difference between what's right and wrong, even though she's drunk.
yeah, because that's exactly how I would do it too.
You would just cheat.
No, I would never cheat. What the fuck?
So you're okay with her going to a nightclub
Yeah,
without you
no,
around single guys?
no. But I don't. The thing is,
You don't see the hypocrisy here.
not really. Because I trust her. I'm not gonna tell her not to go out. I go out, but I'll always trust her. But in the back of my head, I don't trust these guys because I'm a guy. You're a guy. We're dogs. We know how guys act. So it's like,
Wait, so but you just said that you're okay with her going to a nightclub.
yeah, have fun. Even if there is guys, yes, that's you can still go to the club.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I don't trust her. That's the whole point. Like I trust her. I don't trust. The main point is I trust her. I don't trust the guys that are in the same environment. So I don't know what their motive is.
What about if let's go back to the trip. She wants to go on a trip without you, but with like a group of friends and there's single guys there.
Yeah, I would not be okay with that.
Okay, what's the difference? Like, why are you okay with her going to a nightclub, but not on a trip?
Because I know she'll come back to my house by the end of the night. But if she goes to a girls' trip like in Europe, she's not coming back home to me the same night. I don't know what she's gonna be doing at 4 or 5 in the morning. As long as I know that she's going to club and she's coming back to me by the end of the night, that's a win for me, brother.
Okay.
How about you? Would you be okay with her? Let's go with the vacation. Would you be okay with her going out with the girls' night?
No.
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 And same. I'm assuming it's the same thing with the club too, then, right?
Yeah.
Why the club? Why the club one? The girls' trip one, I totally get. But why not the club when you know if she's gonna come back to you by the end of the night?
I don't like nightclubs, so I would never date a woman that likes nightclubs.
Even if that's something that she enjoys doing.
I would never date a woman that likes nightclubs. Like if she told me that she likes nightclubs, I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. But you know, it's just not for me. Yeah.
I'm like rethinking about my life choices now, because obviously I'm in the nightclub all the time, right? And so I'm kind of like.
But if you like it, that's fine. You know, it's just for me, everything I hate is in that one thing: crowded spaces, loud noise, sweaty people that are not sober. That's my worst nightmare. Like I hate that. It's disgusting to me. Like I'm so repulsed by that type of behavior. It's ugh. And so if someone likes that, I'm just like, oh, clearly we're diametrically opposed. It's just not what I'm interested in. Yeah.
Is this like a low key way of you jabbing at me at my lifestyle? Because this is kind of what I do.
No, not at all.
Oh, okay, okay.
This is personal for me.
Okay, personal. Okay.
Like I've been to a nightclub, and so unsanitary. Yeah.
Define us. I mean, I wish you had a little bit of like open-mindedness to like just experience nightclub in like the VIP like kind of situation, because I'm trying to like, you haven't gone to a single one of my shows yet, and I'm trying to like I'm trying to spoil you, give you like that nice like AAA experience, but I'm like in my head I'm like,
it's like at 2 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah, that's usually how it is.
No.
But what if it was like 10 or 11 o'clock?
No, that's just.
Yeah, see that's
like if you like the way, okay, you have to understand, like you're pitching to me like I'm gonna make this an experience that you find pretty disgusting, I'm just gonna make it less disgusting. Like okay, but still disgusting.
Not even trying to support your homie though.
I'll go to support you.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I'll go to support you. But that doesn't mean I'm going to like have a great
enjoy
time.
yourself.
You know what I mean? I'm just like I'm here for a brother. You know? Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because this whole time, I'm like, okay, I'm just not gonna invite him to any of my shows because I know you don't like that. You know, obviously I know you don't like that.
Yeah.
But okay, now that I know that, when a big festival opportunity comes,
Yeah, when there's like a pivotal career experience for you, I will go. Yeah.
My man.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad
And
that
I'll share it on my story. I'm going, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. And I'm gonna carry around like the aerosol hand sanitizer sprays and just.
Get away from me! Get away from me! I'm gonna God.
Yeah.
That'd be so funny if you brought that in with you.
I can't?
No, it would be no. You can.
Oh, yeah,
As long as
hell
you
yeah.
come in with me, though, like you
Yeah.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to a rave once, and I went with these group of girls, and like this whole time, I was basically just making sure that no guy was touching them the entire time. It was just.
That doesn't sound like a fun time at all.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
It was disgusting. I almost got
It's like a job almost.
2 fights that night. Yeah, because they're just under the influence, and so they're doing stupid crap. And I'm just like, if you don't step away right now, we're gonna have a problem. You know, it's just, I hate it. Yeah.
Damn, I'm sorry you had to go through had a bad experience every time, man. Shoot.
Yeah, and with the travel one, this one's a little personal, but I had a friend of mine that got raped on a girls' trip. And I've also had, not friends, but I want to say acquaintances, you know, maybe a little closer than acquaintances. Same story. It's just people don't understand that when you live in America, you live in a very safe bubble, and you go to other places, especially environments where you don't speak the language, you are uniquely vulnerable to risks that would be mitigated if you just had a man there. It sucks. It's sexist. It's disgusting, but it is true. And especially with someone that I'll cherish as much as my wife, I'm not putting them in that situation. You know,
Right.
there's just no way. Yeah,
Like I said from the
maybe
the
a
previous
bodyguard
topic,
if I hired a bodyguard. Yeah.
to take off the load from your frustration and so you can have a good time too, right? Instead of you being you got to make sure everything's fine.
No, like if she wanted to travel alone,
I see.
maybe a bodyguard. But I think I would feel the safest if I was there. Yeah.
Okay.
But if it's just girls, no way.
So what you're getting to is you don't trust them, huh?
No, I do not.
Why?
I just heard too many horror stories.
But I mean, me too. Obviously, I've heard many, and I've also have personal friends that have gone through those horror stories themselves.
Like, even if there's like a 1% chance of getting raped, you know, I'm not taking that risk. Especially if I don't have to,
Right.
you know?
I try to look at the world where it's okay, not every man is evil, not every woman is evil, you know, because there are good guys and good women out there too, you know.
Well,
so.
that reminds me of like the Little Red Riding Hood parable. It's like, you know, Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf. You know, Little Red Riding Hood has to be lucky every time. The wolf only has to be lucky once. You know, so it's a different dynamic that if you live in a relatively safe space in America, you really don't know what the rest of the world is like at all. Yeah.
I definitely can. I can definitely relate to that. It's kind of like when I was born and raised in Palos Verdes. It's a small little bubble, and as soon as I got out of there, I'm like, damn, this is the world.
That's a perfect point.
Yeah.
Especially Palos Verdes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much for all right, thank you so much for watching this episode of the Just Saying Show.
Wait, before we go off though,
subscribe. I will see you guys next episode. So
before we go though, if you guys haven't seen Reed's previous podcast episode, make sure you guys check that out. It is an amazing story.
I'll put it right here.
Right there. Right there. It's just crazy because you guys all know how if you know when someone goes through a horrible experience like that, it gives them every right to become the villain. But Reed chose not to become the villain, so that's very admirable on that. So go check it out, you guys.
I am the villain. Just wait. I'm coming for you.
What the
and you will beg at my feet for death. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. What the